All right, Brad. This is a question for Rocky. He's asking, is there any significance to weathered or muted tartans, or is it just a look/style type of thing?
Think of it as the color palette of the tartan. A tartan is defined by the thread count, meaning, 26 bottle green, 6 white, When you add the thread count and the sequence up, warp and weft, you get a tartan. Mm-hmm. Now, the definition of green will change depending on if it's the ancient color palette, the weathered color palette, the muted, or the modern color palette. It's just a palette of colors. Mm-hmm. So, for instance, modern color palette, Lucas has on a modern McDonald of the Isles tartan. Mm-hmm. So, in a modern color palette, the green is going to be a bottle green, like a beer bottle green color. The blue is going to be navy blue. Mm-hmm. The red is going to be a scarlet red kind of color. Yeah. Yellow is going to be a bold yellow. Mm-hmm. Those are modern colors in a kilt. For ancient, it would be light grass green, a light sky blue. The red would kind of become like an orangish kind of color. Mm-hmm. So it just basically lightens the color palette. Yeah. Muted, you have the green is more of an olive green. The blue is going to be like a stormy sky blue, and the red's going to be more of a blood red. Weathered colors, weathered tartans, are almost an entirely different color palette, almost so the tartan itself is distinctly recognizable or different as recognizable tartan from the modern or ancient ones. Mm-hmm. In a weathered color palette, which is actually what I'm wearing, the Scott green weathered, mm-hmm. the blue becomes like a grayish blue kind of color, like a steel blue. The green becomes a brown color, and the red becomes kind of a salmony red, not pink, but like a salmony kind of red color. Yeah. So the color palettes change across depending on whether it's ancient, modern, weathered, muted, color palette.
Mm-hmm. And when folks are getting their first kilt, I would say a lot of them tend to look at the modern tartans first because they see the white, the navy blue, the green. That's what I see frequently. I won't say all the time, but they look at that and they say, oh, those colors are going to be easy to match. Sometimes if they see a muted or weathered tartan, it just captures their heart, and they love that. They love seeing their tartan done in that color palette. They'll go for that. But a lot of folks do look at the modern tartans first, and maybe down the road get a muted or a weathered tartan on occasion.
Yeah, The thing that I find amusing is guys will come into the store and you lay out all the different tartans, and I would say 2/3 to 3/4 of the guys will say, oh, I want the dark one. And yes. You say, why do you want the dark one? And they say, well, because I don't want to stand out, to which I will reply, dude, you're wearing a kilt. You're going to stand out. Whether it's bright or not, you're going to stand out.
Yep.
And then most of the guys go, oh, yeah, you're right. Okay. And that kind of disarms them. Then they start looking at which colors they actually like better when they're less worried about standing out for some reason.
Yeah, absolutely.